And then on the 11th we have Brian Leo. On the 12th we have Reign Victoria. On the 18th we have Ozzy Miller. On the 19th we have Nina. And on the 24th we have Ozzy Blaze.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Santa Maria.
No. I believe we're done putting ourselves over.
I'm never done doing that. Hell, I put myself over in my dreams.
That's the only place you'd be over.
But hey, you know what? In my dreams, I stopped to promote Wrestling with Entertainment.
Well, at least you did.
Who the hell am I smiling and sticking my thumb up for? Jesus.
Fuck! You realize nobody can see you right now.
Like, damn it. All right.
And you're living up to your American name as well with a fucking bandana on your head.
Hey, you gotta pay extra for that. How do you not know? Yes, I am wearing the bandana. I guess because it is in fact the start of Pride Month.
I was going to say American Badass, but
that too, because I am in fact wearing an Undertaker shirt, as you know, that I got in the 3rd grade.
Yes, because Scooter Dust still has the body frame of a 3rd grader.
Yeah, and remember, I'm 40.
It's we are wrestling with the news, and it was a great day for wrestling as well. Especially if you were a TNA fan, as Jordynne Grace made her NXT debut, surprising many when she challenged Roxanne for the NXT Women's Championship at Battleground.
I will say this. I've got my DVR set to usually collect everything. And, I will admit I missed this because I've been dealing with a lot of, IRL stuff. But I was home for when this happened. And even I had to literally go to my DVR and rewind and whatnot just to see this again because it was that surprising. Normally NXT doesn't pull off surprises like this.
The WWE in general doesn't do surprises like that.
Well, I mean Shawn Spears was a big was a shock. It was a shock. I didn't say it was a great shock.
It's kind of like the shock you get when you're sitting in a chair that does that.
Like the static electricity.
Yeah.
When you're in slippers and you just and you start chasing someone just so they can that was mildly annoying. But I mean it's more along the fact that they really brought it home. They really yep, TNA Knockouts champion, and Vince is rolling over in his grave.
Hey, he's not even dead yet.
Is he?
Yeah. He hasn't faked his death yet. Oh wait, he has. Never mind.
Illuminati. But yeah, sure. My God.
We saw Jordan at the Royal Rumble in January. I don't necessarily feel like this does anything for WWE unless TNA becomes like a developmental for them. A developmental for the developmental, if that makes sense.
Since, again, they're trying to remove the developmental stigma from NXT. They really want it to be seen as a third brand. They really want it to be a place where, wrestlers actually want to go and might actually want to stay for a bit instead of just, trying to get out of there as fast as possible and go to Raw or SmackDown.
Well, I mean,
So,
I feel like the only people that really feel that way are the ones that aren't that were actually independent wrestlers before coming to WWE.
I mean, if NXT literally traveled for house shows outside of Florida, um, it's one thing. This is good for the WWE. It really is. Because one, this is like, if it wasn't hammered home before, this does it. Vince is gone. This would have never happened
No.
in a million years under Vince.
No.
And the fact that it's a champion, it's not even anyone other, like any other regular talent. It is the champion.
Right.
And, by all means, they could have pulled probably any other former WWE talent back just to do this. No. They got Jordan. And supposedly, if I read the news correctly, this is not including the Royal Rumble, she's got 3 appearances scheduled. One was the debut, and she's getting 6 figures for those 3 appearances.
Don't you think that's maybe, I don't know, a little high for Jordan Grace?
I'm going to bet you it is $100,000.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like when they say 6 figures, it's literally the lowest 6-figure amount it could be. That's not a knock at women pay gaps or any shit like that. It's to make it is to make it sound more impressive.
Probably. And it's not, because, Jordan Grace woman. It's because, Jordan Grace TNA L.
Yeah, it's two jobs. And
no,
this
I mean
is
TNA ill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you look at it, Jordan Grace has now become like a flag bearer, in the experiment of a true working collaboration that, we would have happened, when hell froze over. See, now that AEW and TNA's shitty thing, pandemic crossover, which, let's face it, we now realize that the only reason they worked together was because of the pandemic. Again, the possibilities. And and I hate to use this phrase, but do they have the balls to have the NXT Championship go over there? Because remember, doors swing both ways, and that was posted by former TNA superstar Drew McIntyre, and former TNA World Champion.
But let's talk about that for 1 second. Let's say Trick does go to TNA. Who do you put Tripp against?
Let's see. Who? Oh, that's easy. You put Trick against Moose.
I mean, that's kind of like the obvious choice.
Clearly. Oh, come on. Don't. Why? Because they're black?
No, because Moose is arguably the biggest star that they have that could
Okay.
I mean, literally no slack to Eddie Edwards, but I don't necessarily feel like people are clamoring to buy tickets to see Eddie.
PCO.
Okay, yeah, that would be good shit.
Hell, you know what? Save it. Oh no, wait, they're AEW now. Fuck.
Oh, Josh Alexander.
Oh my god, how fitting would that be? You know, because, you know, I mean, NXT also became all ego
That is correct.
wrestling.
Ethan Page made his debut on the same episode, correct?
Yep, the same episode and thrown right into the main event.
Yeah, they put him. They went right. They went right for Trick versus
Oh, and you know what? You can't tell me that that's not trying to build something to Josh Alexander. That screams
Ooh.
that they're gonna want Josh Alexander at like I guess at the front of the men's side of this.
Do you think it's going to continue being a relationship between TNA and
It
NXT?
it, it's gonna be like sparingly. They're not gonna overdo it.
Like
I mean,
like
they
AEW.
yeah. No, they learned from, you know, when, you know, they had one person from WCW showing up, you know, after the invasion, you know, before the invasion truly began, and they gotta. There's a lot of, like, you know, waters to test with this, but this is getting people talking. This is the whole point is not to drive all the eyes at once. It's to bring over a few of the eyes at a time. This is the mistake Tony Khan never. The mistake Tony Khan always makes.
Right.
It is for the pro wrestling really is a slow and gradual business when you want to succeed.
So they should definitely not have Trick Williams beat what was his name? Oh fuck, what?
Ethan Page,
No, no.
Josh Alexander,
No.
Moose. Wait. By the way, wait a minute. Since this was implied on Twitter, a potential Moose Drew Gallo McIntyre, a challenge has been issued. So this is going. This is going to go beyond NXT. If they really wanted to, they can. I mean,
Drew McIntyre is literally the biggest, one of the biggest stars they got right now. I don't necessarily think that they want to, waste the match on a
imagine all the people. Imagine all the people you could put up against Punk.
Yeah.
From Impact, and get great matches out of.
Well, I mean, Punk would have to actually have a match with a WWE superstar first. He still hasn't done that.
See. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Oh man. The prospect of this makes, the future of pro wrestling a little bit brighter. It may not. It's a wait and see type thing, and it's something we've always kind of wanted. Maybe not at the time we really wanted it, but I mean, hell, we got The Rock and Roman, in the same ring.
True.
So now it's essentially a never say never.
I mean, they should definitely not have Trick Williams beat Rich Swann outright, right?
I mean, is Rich Swann the champion anymore?
I don't think he's ever recovered since then.
Well, I mean, let's not get a big swole head here.
I love the fact that whenever when AEW talent comes over to WWE, especially NXT, they put them over like immediately. Obviously Lexus King is the best example of that.
Yeah, unless they're Sean Spears, of course.
Well, he was there was the begin. There were
Yeah, 10, 10,
yeah.
10. Oh, that was so much better. But he was also really skinny when he was Ty Dillinger, too.
I think he had hair, too.
Yeah, he had like a man bun ponytail. He had the only man bun ponytail that had no other hair around it. So, kudos to you, Mr. Spears and Mrs. Royce.
Well, talking about people coming into WWE right now. A few people that may be on their way out. Ricochet and well, let's start with Ricochet. Ricochet's contract is coming up sooner rather than later. As of right now, nothing has been signed, if you believe rumor and innuendo. And there are outside promotions wanting to bring Ricochet into their promotions if he doesn't choose to resign with WWE. In all, in all honesty, why would WWE re-sign Ricochet? He's not necessarily
Speed champion.
Huh?
Speed champion.
Why are you talking about Tony Khan?
He's not the champion of taking speed. He is, of course, WWE's reigning speed champion in a format that only Ricochet could qualify for.
That's what she said.
So, I mean, Samantha?
Yep.
Samantha, talk your boy out. Talk your boy down. The only way I honestly see Ricochet leaving is if he really does get jealous of Samantha's success. I don't see Ricochet not resigning. He's clearly resigning.
If they offer him a contract, yeah, he's resigning.
I mean, they haven't done terribly with him. They've done well with him.
In what sense? I mean, the Twitter...
Intercontinental, United States title. Hell, he's beaten Joe at Mania.
He beat Joe at Mania?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
It was one of the big four. Was it 35?
No, he was in the tag team match with Aleister.
Oh, that one. No, then it was 34? No, there was SummerSlam?
I mean, his biggest match was losing to Logan Paul.
Not Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia?
Nobody remembers that.
I do.
Oh. Give me the personality that doesn't remember that.
Oh, it was... No, wait. No. Oh, God, never mind. Stomping Grounds.
Wow.
But that was Ricochet's first singles title on the main roster.
But, I mean, yeah, Intercontinental Champion, but who beat him for that Intercontinental Champion? Gunther. And Gunther
Samantha Irvin beat him for it.
Oh, well.
He lost it in the bedroom.
I mean, I think a lot of people wish that Samantha was Intercontinental
I mean,
Champion.
he's in his 6 years. 6 years.
It's only been there 6 years.
Yep. King of the Ring. He's beaten Drew McIntyre in a King of the Ring. It was a first round match, but then Ricochet lost to Baron Corbin, so I guess that kind of.
That admits that.
He was part of Hogan's team for Crown Jewel.
Means next to nothing.
Part of Team Raw, but lost that Survivor Series, the one with NXT. He is the 50% eliminator of Brock Lesnar from the 2020 Royal Rumble.
He was eliminated by.
No, it was Drew and Ricochet. They were. Ricochet went after him, and then Drew took him out. Remember?
No, that was 100% Drew McIntyre. Do not give Ricochet the credit for that.
Let's see. Ricochet hit him with a low blow.
Okay.
Do you not remember that? That caused that clearly caused let's see. Oh yeah, the SmackDown World Cup.
That Shane McMahon won?
No, that was the friggin' cup. The Mark Twain Cup. The trophy that was like AJ's.
So what you're saying is that WWE might actually see some type of value in him.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, let's see. Intercontinental Championship reign takes to Johnny Knoxville. I mean, the man has beaten Shanky.
Who hasn't beat Shanky? Another name that is looking to resign. Maybe he's not. You tell me. Chad Gable. Chad Gable's contract is coming up.
He's resigning clearly. Come on.
Would he though? Because he had the opportunity to be a big babyface star.
But now he's really leaning into the heel, and it's working.
Well, I mean, of course it's working. It's Chad Gable doing it, but I just feel like every time he's right at the surface, they push him back down, and he has to start from scratch.
Well, let's see if they can turn him into Kurt Angle.
Well, you know what? That would be awesome. But he needs to get a title run at some point in order to do that.
They're leading something to this, and it's not going to be main eventer Otis or main eventer Tozawa.
I mean, yeah, it really doesn't make sense to do anything with Otis and Gable. Then where do you go from there? You know what I mean? And then what happens to Tozawa and Maxie?
Oh, Maxine can promote that, that new movie that she's in.
She's in a movie?
There's that sequel to X. Or, you remember the never mind. because there's a movie coming out that's the third movie in Ty West's Maxine trilogy, as he calls it. The first was X, about a 1970s amateur porn making group that tries to make a porn at a farmhouse only to be massacred by the owners. And then the follow up to that was called Pearl, after the old woman in that movie. It was a prequel, but the main character that survived in X, that first movie, her name was Maxine Mink, and not Maxine Dupree, but it's spelled Maxine with 3 X's.
Of course.
So, and now there's the third one, which is taking place in 1980s New York. And it's actually literally called Maxine. So maybe she actually goes nuts and starts like killing people.
Wow, that is a dark turn of events for Maxine.
Hey, come on, I really want to see Maxine succeed. And it's not because of how she looks. I'm genuinely invested in her feelings. It's like you see her frown, you want to frown. You see her smile, you want to jump for joy for her.
She definitely got know how to make the most of your TV time.
Yes.
From Chad Gable. Like I said, Chad Gable, chicken salad maker. And she's getting that from him. And, it works. What she does works.
I will say this. I kind of wanted to know what Sammy said to her that she turned down. It's like, was it, are you okay? Or it's like just staying gorilla? Or,
We'll save that for Netflix.
Or was it, we'll go for shawarma later?
On the, Chad Gable is maybe re-signing with WWE. The other Gable, Chad Gable Stevens.
God, I can't believe this.
He has signed with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God. Well, the Bills couldn't get any more worse. But congrats. I guess this is now the is this the actual first successful WWE wrestler to sign with a team post-career? Because Brock tried and failed.
Yeah. I honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Congrats. You're on the team from New York that nobody remembers. Like, how many football teams does New York have? 2! Wrong! Wait. 3. Buffalo. Oh, Buffalo doesn't count. And you'd be right. They don't.
This is definitely a money grab. This isn't something like, oh, I'm passionate about football, so I'm going to pursue this.
No, this is a, I'm too late for Paris, but I need cash.
Yes, 100%.
Like, he doesn't even get a signing bonus. He got a rookie deal, which means he can be released before he even plays an actual yard.
Wow.
Yeah. He doesn't even, they don't even have to play him. They don't even have to put him in practice. If they want to, that's the thing. It's a standard deal. There is nothing special about it. This is a hard come down for Gable Steveson. Like, congrats. You were America's sweet hunk for a second. And now you're grasping every last fame straw you can.
Very true. But we could talk about that literally until the cows come home.
Oh no, I'm done. That's it. I think I made the point very succinctly.
No, definitely. But on the opposite end of that spectrum, WWE's biggest star, Becky Lynch, has not re-signed with WWE, opting to take some time off and spending time with family, if you believe rumor and innuendo. If you believe the coked up head of Dave Meltzer, she's going to AEW.
Oh man, he really did get into Uncle Tony's coke.
If truthfully, I mean, if you believe in that there's any realm of possibility that Becky Lynch will sign with AEW, then there's definitely a bridge
Okay.
I will sell you because
Okay, I will make this promise and I will put it in writing. I will sign a contract for this.
yeah.
If Becky Lynch ever signs and shows up at AEW without Seth Rollins being anywhere around, I will transition into a female.
Okay. Well, you won't be able to go to Oklahoma, but good for you, man.
Oh, I'm gonna go to Oklahoma, and then I'm gonna go to Idaho.
Was it Idaho or Oklahoma?
Both.
Oh, whatever.
Idaho did something else where they're not allowing, all the people. So, you know what? Fuck the potatoes. I'll grow my own. I can take a shit. Matt Damon taught me how.
Wow, that's pretty prestigious. Matt Damon. Well,
He taught everybody. Did you ever see The Martian?
yeah.
Yeah. He grows potatoes in his own shit.
Hmm.
And some shit of the other astronauts. Damn, so.
He was there alone. What were these other astronauts?
I mean, apparently in Mars they vacuum pack your shit.
Hmm.
Just for creative plot device later. Like, awesome. Like, why I always wondered, why did shit need to be vacuum sealed like that and placed in a bin on the surface of a planet you're not really going out onto the surface for that much? Anyway, either way, I'm getting off topic here.
Good for
Let's go back
Becky
to wrestling,
Lynch.
please.
Good for Becky Lynch for taking some time off. It's well deserved.
Yes.
Can't
Bad
wait.
for Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon. Whenever she does decide to return, I'm sure it's going to be a banger.
After banger.
After banger.
After burger.
Talking about who re-signed, not re-signed on the WWE spectrum, on the AEW spectrum, they lost a lot of people. Arn Anderson, Mark Henry, and Jake Hager all confirmed that they are no longer working for AEW. Their contracts expired. They decided not to renew.
Check 1, 2.
Yep.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Or at least, since since most of the people that TNA cut, we don't really know. There is one name that stood out to me from TNA's list, and that's R.D. Evans. And if you were an early internet pro wrestling fan, and you loved learning about the terrible gimmicks known as wrestle crap, R.D. Evans was the man who coined the term wrestle crap and started that site. So, the archive for every terrible gimmick in the world, and the Gooker Award for the worst gimmick and angle of the year. That's where that comes from. So, plus I kind of knew RD just a little bit before he left us message board visitors behind. So, but do you see Hager Swagger going back
to WWE?
Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
Do we? No, I'm like, nope, can't see him in ROH. That's the same company. MLW.
He was pretty successful at the MMA stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I mean, he only came to AEW because Jericho asked him to. They were friends.
I mean, if I pose as other Chris Jericho, if I ask him to go to the WWE again, I think he would.
But would WWE want him back? He was very much a Vince McMahon guy, I would say.
You know what? If I was him, I'd go to Triple H and be like, all right, it's either me or Del Rio.
Wow. Well, obviously they would take Mark Henry back. He did a lot of outside WWE work for them.
Yeah, I mean, including, he met me, so.
Yeah. And he was a part of the Special Olympics and all of that stuff. WWE Hall of Famer. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities that he came back. And why wouldn't you want Arn Anderson in your company? That's your AEW, and you don't understand what you have.
I mean, I think the only reason they take Arn back is because of Cody, and basically just to set up the acquisition of MJF. That's the only reason I would see them taking Anderson back. They don't need Arn Anderson anymore. Right? Pro wrestling doesn't need Arn Anderson anymore.
I wouldn't say that, but
Pro wrestling needs Arn Anderson as much as pro wrestling needs Ric Flair.
Well, that's true. We don't necessarily need Ric Flair anymore.
I mean, we've gone through so many Ric Flairs.
Yes, that we have.
Yeah, he's like an android by now. I have seen it. I have been to the Ric Flair production facility under the Hoover Dam.
I actually take back what I say about them bringing back Mark Henry.
Yeah, it's main event time.
It's time for the main event. Like that, you have Mark Henry. That's what you waste him on.
If you're gonna have Mark Henry, have him. He's clearly he clearly has to manage somebody just so he can pass off his theme song.
Well, that kind of brings me to something that Mark Henry said. He thinks that it'd be a great thing if they brought back the Nation of Domination. And he would like the Velveteen Dream to be a part of that.
No. Good night, everybody.
The other members that he'd like to be a part of that is Joey Ryan, David Starr, and Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, you motherfucker.
The Nation, they will be known as the Nation of Cancellation.
I thought it was going to be the nation of masturbation. Like
No, that's
mass,
Tony Khan.
MASS. Um, uh, well, going for that, how, I find this very interesting.
Yeah.
So Chelsea Green's husband went to Mexico and got stem cell therapy.
Zack Ryder?
Yeah,
And that's interesting, how?
it's stem cell therapy.
I mean, Rey Mysterio does it.
Yes, and Shotzi did it for her arm. Tommaso Ciampa did it for recovery as well. But like Ryder, I think got almost every cell replaced. If I'm reading this correctly,
Well, maybe he'll be a competent wrestler now.
He's calling himself the stem cell king.
Oh god, he's a fucking moron.
It's stem cells. Stem Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green. Oh my god. Oh my god. Quick! Somebody get booking on the line!
Well, we've been talking about re-signing, and I don't think the thing bigger when it comes to re-signing is for media rights, and AEW's is coming up fairly soon. They have until July to sign, and the negotiations at this time have been said to be disappointing for Tony Khan. Tony was very high on the fact that they were going to get a massive deal, a huge deal. It was going to be great for the media this time around. And it seems like it just isn't that. Dave Meltzer would tell you otherwise, but Dave Meltzer is a stooge, so you can't necessarily believe what he says. What are the possibilities that AEW is not on TNT slash CBS, TBS, I say, in September, October?
Media rights and TV rights, kind of two different things. So, are we talking like we're talking the broadcast?
The broadcast, yeah.
I
believe that's what it is.
Tony was really hoping that WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, was gonna have them on streaming by this point, and again, Tony forgets. How long did it take for the WWE to get streaming?
I mean, almost 50 years.
30 years, if we're going by, just kayfabe. 30 years. Why do you think no promotions have really flourished on streaming? I mean, you can't say the NWA has really flourished.
I mean, they were on YouTube and they didn't flourish, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I'm using AI to help me rebook the NWA from the past. So, by the way, some AI chatbots know Wrestling with Entertainment. So, and I didn't have to do anything. I just asked them if they ever heard of us.
And they knew us?
Yeah. I mean, they're basically glorified search engines, but still.
Well, great. Now we're going to be targeted when Skynet uprises.
Well, hopefully they will target. Damn it, I can't think of who they should hate.
People that we don't like.
Yeah, like, you know, like the 35th, 45. Are we at that time? Is there anything else to talk about before we or are we even going to even talk about it?
No, okay.
Should we talk about it?
But I know what we have a lot to talk about. But no, I mean the last bit of news was the media rights for AEW, and if they don't get the deal that they want money-wise, are they going to stay on
TV?
Yeah.
The answer is no, and Tony will do what he always does: create something that with his money.
Okay, so the
He'll
Tony
be like,
Khan channel.
oh yeah, now what? Yeah, tune into it on a which means he'll create his own streaming. He'll realize this, and then he'll be like, oh, look at me, I'm doing this. You should all be doing like me. And they'll be like, we were doing this like way before you left your daddy's ballsack, Tony. So
yeah, which was just the other day.
Just the other day, eh? You really sounded Canadian with that. Good.
Okay.
Oh, and Chris Jericho has left the Rampage announce team.
He was still on Rampage?
He was still on the announce team.
Well, it tells you how long it's been since I've seen Rampage. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. My suggestion was that we were gonna get wrestling on the Pop channel again.
Hey, I want access back. Verizon, get with it.
All right. I think that will conclude our coverage of the news this week. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.